Good morning or afternoon, 6th grade, depending on what time you're watching this. This is our next math lesson. I am on page 442. This is lesson 2 of chapter 6. So what we're starting with today is order of operations. So a lot of this should be review for most of you. We've done this a lot in simple solutions. So what I'm going to start with is I want you to star or write down that a numerical expression means an expression with all numbers in it. There's no variables. Okay, and that's what we're going to be focusing on today. This vocabulary is important because in algebra it comes up quite a bit. Now, order of operations tells you how to solve a problem. So, in other words, order of operations is what you guys know as PEMDAS, or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So, we have parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. I also want you to make a note, and we've talked about this several times, that it is multiplication and division in the order it falls, and we'll talk about that later. In the order it falls. Same thing with addition and subtraction, in the order it falls. Okay, so I want you to keep that in mind as we do this lesson. Okay, so let's go back to, or I'll keep that up for 1 second in case anybody's writing it down. Okay. Okay, so let's look at our book. They're going to start with some simple expressions. So on number 1, it says 10 minus 2 plus 8. Now remember what I said about addition and subtraction in the order that it falls. Just because in this it says addition then subtraction, that's not what it means. It means in the order that it falls. So 10 minus 2 plus 8. We're going to do 10 minus 2. Okay, and when you write these, I'm going to show you a certain way I want you to write these. So when you do these, and I've showed you this before, when you do these, you write it out like this so that you don't miss any steps. So in other words, 10 minus 2 is what we're going to do first, and that is 8. And I'm going to rewrite plus 8 below it. And 8 plus 8 is 16. That is how you should be writing these out. So in this one, we started with subtraction because it's addition and subtraction in the order that it falls, and then we solved it from there. Okay, so this was example 1. On example 2, they have 4 plus 3 times 5. So I'm going to write that there. If I think about my order of operations, okay, there's no parentheses, there's no exponents, there's no division, or there's multiplication and division. There is multiplication right here, so I'm going to do 3 times 5 first. So 4 plus 15. Then I'm going to do 4 plus 15, which is 19. Okay, so for these ones, you have to be careful that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing in the correct order, or you're going to get the answer wrong. So let's go through example A on the bottom of this. So on example A, we have 10 plus 2 times 15. Okay, so I'm going to do multiplication first. 2 times 15, which is 30. So I'm going to rewrite 10 plus 30, which is 40. So my answer is 40. The reason why I want you to do it this way, guys, is because when you get into longer problems and you're trying to do these in your head, it's not going to work out. I promise you. Just think of the long ones we've done through simple solutions so far. You think you know it, and because you didn't write it on paper, you don't see that you miss a step here and there. So you want to make sure you're writing these out. On example B, we have 16 divided by 2 times 4. Okay, so remember what I said about multiplication and division in the order that it falls. So no, we are not starting with multiplication. We're starting with division. Multiplication and division in the order it falls. I'm going to keep saying it because you have to remember that. So we're going to do 16 divided by 2, which is 8, times 4, which is 32, which is my answer. Okay? All right, let's go over to the other page, because now we're going to work in parentheses and exponents. Let me move this book under here. That was holding me up. Okay, so for example 3, on example 3, they have 20 divided by 4 plus 17 times parentheses 9 minus 6. So let's write that out on here. Okay, so 20 divided by 4 plus 17 times 9 minus 6. Now, let's go back to our order of operations. Okay, do we have parentheses? Yep, we sure do right here. So we're going to do that first. So I'm going to rewrite out 20 divided by 4 plus 17 times 3. 9 minus 6 is 3. Now I'm going to look at it and say, okay, I don't have any more parentheses. Now I need to see, do I have division or multiplication? And I do. Now remember, division and multiplication in the order that it falls. So I'm going to do 20 divided by 4, which is 5 plus 17 times 3. Next, I'm going to do the multiplication. 17 times 3, which is 51. And 5 plus 51 is 56. This is how your work should look for every problem. I need you to get in the habit of writing that out. Let's look at number 4. We have 3 times 6 to the second power plus 4. So, pulling my chart back, do I have parentheses? Nope. Do I have exponents? I sure do right here. So 6 to the second power means 6 times 6, which is 36, plus 4. Now I'm going to do my multiplication. 3 times 36, which is 108, plus 4, and that equals 112. Okay, so see how I'm writing these out? I really need you to do it like this. Okay, number 5. Now we have pretty much everything in this problem. So we have 5 plus parentheses 8 to the second minus 2 times 2. All right, let's work this out. So parentheses, I sure do have parentheses right here. I'm going to do the exponent within the parentheses first. So I'm going to have 5 plus 8 to the second power is 8 times 8. So 64 minus 2 times 2. Next, I still have parentheses. So I'm going to do 5 plus, I'm going to solve what's in my parentheses, 62 times 2. Next, I'm going to do my multiplication, 62 times 2, which is 124. And I'm going to add that is 129. Okay, so I'm doing everything in order. I'm writing out each step so I don't miss anything. Let's look at C and D on the examples. Just to do a couple more to make sure we have this down. Let me grab another piece of paper. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so on letter C, I'm going to write down the problem first, then I'll straighten my paper out. Times 5 minus 2 divided by 5 minus 12. Okay, so let's look at our paper. Okay, and sometimes it helps, you know, when you start your homework to just write out PEMDAS at the top so you remember you have it there. Okay, so do I have parentheses? Yep, I do right here. So I'm going to do 25 times 5 minus 2, which is 3, divided by 5 minus 12. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to do multiplication and division in the order that it falls. So 25 times 3, which is 75, divided by 5 minus 12. Okay, 75 divided by 5 is what I'm going to do first. That's what it tells me to do. So 15 minus 12. So my answer when I'm done is 3. Okay, let's look at D. 24 divided by 2 to the third plus 4. Okay, so I have parentheses. I'm going to look inside my parentheses. I'm going to have to do this exponent first. So 2 to the third means 2 times 2 times 2. And that equals 8. So now I'm going to do 24 divided by 8 plus 4. I'm going to do what's in the parentheses still. Got to get rid of those before I go on. Divided by 12, which is 2. So in your homework today, you have a sheet to work on. It's a skills practice. I need you to work on that. Please let me know if you have any questions. You can email me, message me if you need me to FaceTime you or something like that. I'm happy to help you with that. Just take your time and make sure you're writing out each step. Okay? Have a great day, guys.